Hello, magical soul, and welcome back to this week's episode. And I'm diving in all things energy, but we're going to get practical as always. And I want to talk about doing big things and how this requires powerful energy. So, it kind of goes without any maybe more explanation that, of course, when we're trying to shift things and move things and overcome things and really step into a life that we're creating that is different to the norm, that is different to maybe life as you experienced it before. Most often, it's different to the lives of those closest to you, right? Your family, your friends. So it's going to require us when we're going through any kind of major shift or transformation or moving forward and expanding all the beautiful things that I love and I help people to do, it's going to require powerful energy. So this is something I just want to take you through, kind of like a pep talk, a kind of reminder or some prompts for you. And I'm going to just take you through five top things that I feel that has really helped for me, and to help you step into more of this powerful energy. And this energy is the energy inside of you, because when you're doing something really different, like I said, we're going to have to go big. And going big doesn't mean you've got to be big and loud and in someone's face, but it does require a certain energy inside of us. And yeah, I think it requires courage a lot of the time, because we're stepping out of the norm. We're stepping out of the average, boring, like middle of the road way of living. And I know if you're tuning into this podcast, you're someone who wants more for their life, personal life, business, relationships, whatever area for you that you're working on or wanting to, or maybe multiple areas. Maybe it's across the board and there are no limits. So I want to talk to you. Yeah, let's just dive in then and talk about number one. So number one is daily habits, daily routines. And I couldn't do anything, I don't think, anything I've ever done in my life that requires change without this in place. So I'll just, touch on it, but the daily, preferably morning routine. So I am not an advocate for the 5 a.m. club as it stands. Who knows, a year from now, 5 years from now, I might be saying something different. I'm open to that. But right now, and so far in this journey, and I've been online doing this now for six and a half or so years, and I've never really subscribed to having to get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in order to push and hustle. And probably it comes off the back of my long debilitating chronic illness that I overcame, and having to really get good at nurturing and supporting myself. And for me, that never felt good, getting up really early. So I'm talking about daily and preferably morning routines that really work for you. So you can take this, adapt it to whatever really suits you. Some of you might have children, young babies, younger children, babies, commitments in the mornings, routines, whatever. I'm more flexible because I've created my life this way. So I get to kind of cultivate it the way I want. So just thinking about, though, is starting your day with intention is number one of how to get into this powerful energy and how to support you with these big changes, shifts, expansions, amazingness that you're creating. Because even though it's magical and amazing, we are needing energies to support that. So to step into this power, I 100%, if you're not doing this already, to bring this in like from tomorrow. And you can make this morning, daily routine as simple or as long as you like. I might do a separate episode to go more in depth on this. But for now, I just want to say to start your day with intention. So it could just be 5 minutes, 10 minutes of breathing, prayer, meditation, reading through your goals, your journaling, listening to something that inspires you, however, reading. There are loads of ways, but just really stepping into your energy. And my personal rule to step into my own energy is to never consume social media. I never grab my phone and scroll through. I never look at emails and anything outside until I have filled myself up and connected into myself. So sometimes I do that for 15 minutes, sometimes I would take 2 hours. It just depends. So number one is daily, preferably morning because it's easier, routines to really step into that powerful energy. So you really are putting yourself first. That's absolutely number one. So number two, I would kind of off the back of that encourage you highly to block out distractions. Distractions are like the thing, of course, that will pull us away from what we're trying to do. Sometimes that shows up in the form of our friends or our loved ones or that TV program, that Netflix series, the world events, our own head, right? Whatever it is, blocking out distractions. So, really being mindful of what you're feeding yourself and the messages that you're tuning into. So, to get a little practical, some of the things that I do, and I've done this for quite a few years now, simple things really, like, for example, I'll unsubscribe from anything in my email inbox that doesn't support where I am right now. Not to say that there's anything wrong with anyone's content, but sometimes it's just not the key piece of what I'm focusing on. So I frequently unsubscribe from emails. So I'm only getting in my email box things that align with what I am choosing to create, shift, or transform. Or support me in that way. I will absolutely have notifications turned off. This is a huge one. Highly recommend just turning off your notifications on your phone, particularly. So I don't have anything going off. I don't get alerted when someone's liked or commented on a post. I don't get alerted when someone's messaged me. All of that is there. And I choose to go into my social media platforms to engage, right? So I know I'm going in there to intentionally reply to comments, my lovely community members, or answer messages or emails or whatever, and I go in. So I'm very conscious, and it took me a while to cultivate that habit because I was getting so pulled and distracted. And it's so hard when you're going through those distractions to tap into your powerful energy because you're being pulled left, right, and center. So check in and see if this is something that needs your attention. I cancelled Netflix. That was kind of an extreme thing to do. Me and my husband made a decision last year to cancel Netflix, partly because we had some issues with Netflix itself as a company and some of what it was, what was going on behind the scenes. That's just a personal choice. But also it was to do with we were wanting to write books, we were wanting to create. And so we both felt very called to, we're kind of all or nothing. We just cancelled Netflix. And now I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm absolutely not. It's just what works for us. We were quite kind of determined on that. But it could look like for you that you limit that, or you reward yourself in a way that once you've done your focused work or the intentions that you set to, come back and watch things. I'm just saying it's so easy for that to pull you in, but use it in whichever ways work for you. But just block out anything that's distracting you. Sometimes this is going to be a bigger conversation around maybe some of the people you're hanging about with. Whatever comes to mind, what is distracting you? What is it? And if you find that it's your own mind, often it can be that inner critic, judgment, or self-sabotage, really then it's an invitation for you to focus on calming that mind, filling yourself up with maybe some positive affirmations, or going further if you need to with the healing work, whatever that is. Message me, reach out if you're needing any assistance on that. I do all this inner work, all of it. So yeah, but just thinking about what is it for you, and then block out those distractions so you are really, really laser focused. And you can still have fun, of course, but really this is all about just getting really conscious and intentional. And that is where massive power, massive powerful energy can pour through for you. And it's an unstoppable force, and you create so much amazing momentum. There's no turning back. It's irreversible, which I love. Okay. Number 3 is tuning into your soul. So a little bit about what I spoke of earlier. It's the thing that will help you doing big things in the world, requiring this powerful energy, is absolutely tuning into your own soul, not your head, not your ego, not your friends' opinions, your loved ones' opinions, your parents or kids or anyone, as much as you love them. It's not even following the gurus and the experts and the people that are sort of giving you these exact blueprints. Now, I'm not saying not to take expert advice and not to seek out mentors, guides, everything. Of course, that's kind of what I show up as for people. But I'm saying that it's just being mindful of especially when you're learning what you're learning, it's often people take on the views and opinions and blueprints of others and well-meaning mentors, but they're teaching often what worked for them. And unless they have more of an expansive awareness of people, and there are many amazing people that do, there are some that won't do that, and they'll be teaching you this blueprint, and you're going to know because you're going to probably most likely follow those exact methods and steps and strategies and find that it just doesn't feel powerful for you. So this is your reminder really to borrow bits, yep, take on board guidance and advice and whatever you learn from outside of you. But more importantly than any of that is to tune back into your soul, into your knowing, and really start to practice whether this feels aligned for you. So again, the theme here is getting really conscious, really intentional around what it is that you're connecting to, because this is where the power lies. And you, magical soul, are so incredibly powerful. Often people forget this and they don't know. So it's my job right now, and it's my job in general, it's what I do in the world, is to remind you, to lovingly kick you back into, you always know what you need, you always know what your next steps are, and this is where your power comes from. So anything around you connecting back into your soul, and it's going to require some quiet time, some reflection. So again, if you're doing the morning daily routine, this is going to really help you. If you're blocking out distractions, it's going to help you tune back into your soul, because your soul always knows. Okay, number 4, resilience. So this is where we want to really have the ability to really just withstand a lot of bullshit, a lot of challenges sometimes, a lot of ups and downs. Now, when I talk about resilience, I don't mean resilience as in push through. So you may have heard me talk about this several times. I'm not an advocate for pushing through and pushing your heart, mind, body, and soul, against all odds. There are better, more high vibrational, high frequency, more powerful ways of doing it. But I'm talking about the essence of resilience is digging into yourself, into the fact that you know that you are here for more. It's the resilience, that the energy that connects you into, even through the challenges, even when you have the wobbles and the discomfort, the ups, the downs, the success, the failures, the good days, the bad days, the awful days, there is still something inside of you that you can connect to, that you are resilient, you are determined, no matter what it looks like, you will be the person, you are the person you came here to be. And I really utilize that energy. So side note, um, wasn't what I planned to share, but I do have a course. Actually, I've got a few sort of courses, programs, self-study. You just purchase and you access them immediately. I do have a course actually called Resilience, and it's an audio course where it just plugs you into this energy. So I'll leave the link wherever you have the description for this podcast, so you can check it out. You can also go to theawakerevolution.com and find courses and programs there. But resilience, yeah, I have one there, and it's because it's such a necessary part of connecting into this powerful energy. So without resilience, we're going to be that kind of person who's flaky or lacks consistency or gives up, and or doesn't fulfill our potential. We've got to have resilience, but I'm an advocate for resilience, but in a soul aligned way. It isn't to override your physical needs, your mental, emotional, spiritual needs. It is to tap into all of this and to, kind of, how would I say it, like stubborn, like with stubbornness and a divine determination, that you are not going to be swayed off the fact that you are here for this change, transformation, up level, expansion, way of living, being, creating. You know that you came here for this. So even if it's not working out, you have this resilient mindset that it's going to happen when it happens, right? But you are here for it. And that is what I find makes it's the difference between people who just give up and people who really persevere. And perseverance is another beautiful word, because it's using it though in a higher frequency way here, and never at the expense of our own health. So we really get to tap into that on a deeper level. And then number 5, which will sound like a complete contradiction, as many things in the universe are but are not, is flexibility. So, on one hand, yeah, we want to tap into the powerful energy with a sense of resilience, courage, determination, all of this powerful energy. But also, on the other hand, we want flexibility. We want to be able to withstand the challenges, to move and to utilize this powerful energy inside of us to do these big things, is to be able to tap into some flexibility. So this is often what people are a lot of people needing to do when they're working with me. It's usually I can recognize that somebody will maybe more need more of the resilience kind of energy we're going to pull in, or sometimes it's they actually have that in abundance, but what they're lacking is that flexibility. Maybe they're too kind of stubborn and stuck in what they've decided, so that they're actually lacking the flexibility. So how I'd see it is you're sort of holding resilience in one hand and flexibility in the other, and you're just juggling and balancing them both, somehow beautifully dancing with both energies, because flexibility allows you to still be resilient, but you're moving with the water. You're not swimming upstream. You're not going against the tide and the current. You're going with it. So it's like the like a tree, right? A big willow tree. It's grounded, the trunk is steady, the roots are earthed into the ground. There's a resilience, a steadiness there. But the top of the tree, the willow tree, it just flows, right? The wind moves through it and it beautifully flows in all directions. There's almost like an elegance to it. So when you have these energies, you can utilize the flexibility. It just allows you to breathe, maybe allows you to access more of a sense of humor about things. We saw the world hit by craziness in 2020, and a lot of businesses and a lot of people had to maneuver and pivot and move into different directions to survive, to get through it. So this essence of flexibility is so super powerful, but it allows you to tap into this real power again without having to push through and work so hard. It really does get to be easy. And I'm not saying there aren't challenges, but we're moving into new energies now where we can create, live, and breathe in very different energies. And this is exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive, and it's an exciting time to create and change and shift, transform and expand. So, those are my 5 kind of energies or habits or whatever you want to call them, to help you when you're doing big things and it requires powerful energy. So, quick recap: 1, daily, preferably morning or whenever, routines. 2, block out those distractions. 3, tuning into your soul, your knowing. 4, tapping into resilience. So, so powerful. 5, allowing flexibility in all that you do, in all the directions that you move. And those 5, I think, when you piece them together, just create a beautiful foundation to create amazing, big, magical, beautiful things. So, I hope you found this episode useful. Feel free to drop me a comment, get in touch, let me know if you have questions. And I wish you a beautiful rest of the day and beautiful rest of the week. And I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye for now.